I'm Nicole Marie Finch, and I thank you so much for tuning in to my blog video on health and mindset. And today, I'm going to be talking about something that's a little bit, controversial, which is the snooze button and why it is ruining our day. Listen, I am someone who used to hit the snooze like a bazillion times. Like the person who would hit the snooze button every 9 minutes for an hour until finally I would get up. I would stay in bed as long as possible until I had to get up, get dressed, get ready, go to work, whatever it was. I was just giving myself last minutes, and then I'm rushing around. And if I set my alarm aspirationally early, it usually ended up in still me cutting it really close to getting where I need to be at a certain time. Can anyone relate? I'm sure there's someone out there, right? And so then what I would find would happen is the rest of my day would be kind of chaotic. I feel like I was always trying to catch up and things were just never quite and go through the end of the day, and then you're kind of like, I don't know what I did all day. I didn't get these things I wanted to get done. Crap, I forgot about that. And yeah. And I've heard about the importance of having a good morning routine, and the snooze button's maybe not the greatest thing to use. But it wasn't until I heard the science behind it, of course, because I love my science, that I was like, oh, maybe I should give it a try and see what happens. And so I've actually not been using the snooze button for a few months now, and it's pretty freeing. And I'm going to explain a little bit more about it and share a little more about my experiences through this blog today, talking about not only why it's important to have a strong morning routine, it doesn't have to be a long thing, just something to get you centered ready for the day, and why it's good to not press the snooze button, because your brain is going to be working for you the best of the best of the best in the morning. So here's the thing. The first 2 to 3 hours of your day is the best for your brain. What? So your brain is going to be able to focus best on the tasks that you have at hand, the overall goals that you have, whether it's personal or professional. And it's when the best thinking is going to happen. It's when the highest speed of processing is going to happen. It's when you're at your freshest, brain-wise. So we don't want to waste that time snoozing. We don't want to waste that time scrolling through our phone, through Pinterest or something. I don't know who does that. Not me. Okay, fine, me. And we want to use that time to our advantage to set up our day to be awesome. So here's what I learned about the snooze button and why it's a danger zone. So here's the thing. How you wake up is actually in some ways more important than how well you slept. And by the way, if you're not sleeping well, definitely check out the mindset series I put together, because I do talk about that and provide some ideas and some ways that you can be able to sleep better. It really has to do with not just what you do right before bed, but really what you've been doing all day and how your mindset is in general. So definitely check that out, because it might help you if you're not sleeping well in general. And I'll certainly probably talk more about that additional blog video in the future, but for now I definitely recommend checking that out, because that can be a factor. It can be harder to wake up in the morning if you haven't had a good night's sleep. However, as far as from a brain processing perspective and how productive and on task and focused and ready to go you can be during the day, it actually has more to do with how you wake up, interestingly enough. So even if you had a terrible night's sleep and you don't feel great at first when you first wake up, you're actually going to be better off by not pressing the snooze button, which I can actually personally say I found. Because even, for instance, even last night, I did not sleep well. There was an outside light that we left on, and I kept waking up because I don't like any light when I'm sleeping. And this morning I woke up and my alarm went off, and I would have loved to just not get up. But I got out of bed, don't even think about pressing snooze, I just get out of bed. And it actually helped me to get a lot more stuff done, and I felt a lot better during the day. So, and I was the person who was pressing snooze for like an hour straight. So if I can do it, you can do it. So before we get into that more though, let me explain a little bit more about why pressing the snooze button kind of messes us up in the morning, as the very first thing. So we sleep in cycles. So a cycle is about 90 to 110 minutes for sleep. And so you're kind of repeatedly going in and out of that throughout the night. And as you get close to the time you have to wake up, your brain takes about 2 hours there to start to get you ready to wake you up. So even sometimes if your alarm is going to go off, say 6:30, you wake up at 5:45 and you're kind of feeling awake, but you're like, oh, but I have 45 more minutes. This is great. You go back to sleep and then you wake up and you're all groggy. Well, because what happens when you press snooze or when you ignore that natural body wake-up time, I'm talking about something more natural. I'm not talking about you're stressing and tossing and turning all night. I'm talking you just kind of start to naturally wake up at, not like at 4 a.m., but not more naturally. The sun's kind of coming up and you think, oh, but I can stay in bed. Or you press the snooze, you get that kind of groggy feeling. Basically, you told your brain, okay, we're going to go back to sleep now. So your brain starts to go into another cycle, which, as I mentioned, is 90 to 110 minutes. Now, if you're in the middle of that cycle or started that cycle and your alarm goes off again, it wakes you up right in the middle of it. And while you might, get out of bed and you feel awake, that cortex region of your brain, without getting too sciencey, actually is still sleeping. Okay, basically it can't shake itself out of the sleep cycle, and it can impact you up to 4 hours, if not more. It can really negatively impact your brain's ability to function, your productivity, ability to focus, and really think clearly for up to like 4 hours. So there goes your whole morning. And then it messes you up enough that it impacts the rest of your day. So really it can even be more than that. Isn't that interesting? And so it kind of basically creates this like sleep inertia where you just can't, have you ever had that feeling where like you kind of feel like you can't quite wake up throughout the day and you don't really know why? A lot of it can be because of this little issue of the snooze button. So we gotta just ban the snooze button. Okay, listen. And I've been doing it for a few months, as I mentioned, and I have to say it's kind of freeing. I turn off my alarm, I jump, I get out of bed. Well, maybe I don't jump. Okay, that might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but I stand up. Sit up or stand up. It's usually the best way to get out of bed. So alarm goes off, even if I wake up, maybe a little bit before, I'm gonna wake, I stand up and I get up. And it's actually quite freeing because I know that I'm gonna get up exactly when my alarm goes off. So I don't have to like do the math and think, okay, I'm gonna set my alarm for this pretend time 30 minutes before I really need to get up. And I know I'm going to get up when I need to, and then I don't have to worry about that, and it's just kind of freeing because I can get up and I can go and I feel more in control of my morning and my day. And the other thing is when you get up, you don't want to just go right to your phone and look at social media, look at emails. You don't want to start being reactive. You want to use that brain. You got those 2 or 3 hours of your highest processing time, baby. Let's use it. And so for me, I do have some readings that I like to do on my phone. That's where I have them on there. And so I do like to look at my phone for those readings. But what I've actually done is I turn off all my notifications. My phone's always at Do Not Disturb at night, but I've even turned off my notifications so that I don't see them pop up on my phone at all. That way I don't look at my phone looking for my readings and then end up, seeing some email or some text or something that's going to start getting my brain focused on the wrong thing that I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, starting to get to that reactive point. So I want to focus on the things that I choose, that I find most important for the day. So I start off with my reading. So one thing you could do is when you get up, maybe you, first of all, have a big glass of water, nice tall glass of water. There's actually been some studies that's shown that a big glass of water, just kind of drinking it first thing in the morning, can actually be more energizing than a cup of coffee. So first thing you do, get that water in your system. You haven't been drinking for at least 8 hours if you're getting 8 hours of sleep anyway. So do that, and then maybe do some stretching, really get those muscles going, the juices flowing, and brush your teeth, maybe wash your face, and start to just kind of do those activities that wake you up. And then what can be really powerful is think of 2 to 3 things that you really want to accomplish that day. What are your goals, and what kind of tasks do you want to make sure you get done that day? Whether it's for work, it's for you personally, for your family, something that you have going on, that if you were to look back at your day at night, you'll think, I did those 2 to 3 things, I feel accomplished. Think about what those are. Start to put together that little to-do list, because again, you're thinking your best. What are my goals? What do I have to do to reach those goals? Your brain's going to be working and thinking the best at that time is going to give you the best ideas for doing that. And write them down. Write them down because you're actually, I believe it's 42% more likely to achieve your goals if they're written down. Cool fact. So write them down and then spend next, 5, 15, 30, whatever you have, kind of planning things out, starting to maybe make a sub list of things you want to do, how you're going to go about them, maybe even working on them at that moment. Because that way you're using your brain for the things that are really most important to you. For you. Not for necessarily your boss, not for your significant other, not for your kids, unless that's the thing you want to do. Maybe you've got some kind of party coming up, something that's going to make you happy in your core and accomplish whatever goals you have. Use your brain for that, okay? If you've got a big presentation coming up for work and you really need to think through it, that's something that you want to work on, that's fine too. But let's make it a pact here to use this time in the morning for helping us to move forward and find that happiness, find that joy, find that overall success that we want to find in our lives. And that's what we want to be able to do in the morning. And you can plan out your day generally, because things are going to come up. If you work from home, or you don't have a 9-to-5 strict job, maybe plan your quitting time. When are you going to stop working? Or some of us who maybe have to come home after work and work more, plan your quitting time. Say, no matter how far I get, 8 p.m., I'm done. Or whatever it might be. And so once you've done all of that in the morning, you've kind of planned it out, you've got your ideas, you've got your things, then by all means, pick up your phone, scroll through all the Facebook and Pinterest and funny videos that you want, okay? So hopefully that is interesting enough to you, that makes sense to you. I personally find it very interesting, and I'd love for you to hear what you have to say. Because I know some of you out there are going to be like, no, I can't give up my snooze button. And trust me, I'm so with you. Because that's how I was at first too. I was very resistant, but I was like, well, I can't really say anything until I've given it a try, right? And so I started to do that, and I really haven't looked back. I will say there have been times when I would be doing well, getting out of bed, and then there would be days when I was like, you know what, I'm going to hit snooze today. And I would. And that day was not as productive. It simply wasn't. And I actually felt more tired, and it simply was just not as good of a day. I felt like I was playing catch up all day versus like waking up and already, in the first couple hours of the day, already feeling like I had accomplished something and kind of going into my day with that kind of confidence. So anyway, I'd love to know how this feels for you and what works best for you. We're all different, so we all have different ways that we have to look at things and process things. So this may or may not resonate with you, but give it a go. Maybe try it for a week. You can do it for a week, right? See what happens. See how it works. I'd love to know. So thank you again for tuning in. I look forward to continuing to share some of these funny nuggets with you, and hopefully interesting and helpful as well. And thank you so much. Remember, life is chaos, so we have to have fun with it.